The recent sellout concert at the Bird's Nest provided a much-needed boost to the stadium, which had been getting a considerable amount of bad press for its inactivity over the past year. The star-studded lineup comprised singers Jay Chou and Song Zuying, Italian tenor Placido Domingo, and pianist Lang Lang. Shortly after the concert, the stadium hosted its first sporting event since the end of the Paralympics last year, where Lazio beat Inter Milan to win the Italian Super Cup. But previously, events at the stadium had been few and far between. It costs nearly $9 million every year just to maintain the stadium, and that burden falls to CITIC, the management consortium that won the right to run the Bird's Nest for the next 30 years. CITIC says it plans to hold 10 major events there every year, as well as a host of other smaller events, an optimistic plan if the past year is anything to go by. Is 10 events in a year really viable?
I think it's possible. 10 events is not very much for one stadium, but in the coming 5 years, the first industry for us is the tourism. So we will focus on the tourism at the first point, and then we will choose just 10 events, at least 10 events into the stadium.
An average of 20,000 visitors come through the doors every day, and at 50 yuan a ticket, that's an annual revenue of over $90 million. Not bad for a stadium that's supposedly sitting empty on a daily basis. But the larger events need to attract at least 60,000 people to make them financially viable. What is the stadium more suited for? Is it sporting events, concerts, exhibitions, or any other use?
Firstly, it should be a brand. It should, for example, the Italian Cup. The two teams are very famous in China, so they present a very famous brand.
As well as the revenue from major events and daily visitors, CITIC plans further income from the box seat level, which will house a number of restaurants and is looking to tie up various sponsorship deals. Visitors to the Olympic Green say they're also keen to see the stadium used to its full potential.
The Bird's Nest is part of the heritage of our country and the Olympics. I think all big concerts, performances and sporting events should be held here.
After the Olympic Games, we need to make full use of the Bird's Nest and use it to let foreigners know more about China.
It may be very cheap to lay down grass for a sporting event, but the major concern is it takes a full month for it to bed in and grow properly beforehand, and that could be a concern if they plan to have 10 full events here every year. Mark Dreyer, BON.